everybody. Welcome to Evercast, where Crow tinkers with things.
Welcome to
Yes.
OBS Problems for Crow. Update your OBS, man. That's all you need to do.
No, it's not updating OBS. It's oh, I didn't realize this was showing already.
Yep.
Yes,
I'm not-
it is. A picture
There,
and
now it's
picture.
gone. There. Well, that's kind of what I wanted to see. If it was
You want to see
working,
the
'cause
chat?
this is kind of not working in some of my other streams, and I keep forgetting to check it. So I figure I'd check it now.
See, he uses this time to tinker with his own stuff, people. Can you believe
Yeah.
that?
That's fine. That shows
No,
that
no.
shows that he's willing to. He's our technical support on the show anyway.
Right?
He's the builder of things.
Right. So, Rich had some side quests to do. Unfortunately, he couldn't join us, but he'll be here in spirit.
Yeah, I don't know what festivities he's talking about, and why weren't we invited?
Right?
What's that? I'd fly to Jersey. Actually, no. There's no good reason ever to go to New Jersey outside of visiting Rich.
Hey, you said it, not me. Speaking of which, if y'all have a guest to my one side of me, we got Pete, the Evercanadian.
Yes, I decided to put my logo up because people got tired of looking at my tongue just wagging there in the picture, apparently. So I put my logo up. But if you want to see this beautiful face, come over to the Evercanadian and join my channel because I do live streams with my members. So, and when I say beautiful face, it's an old white dude, but whatever.
You should just put up an animated GIF.
Man.
Put an animated GIF of Pete just sticking his tongue out. Because I got some weird facial expressions I've used as thumbnails over the years. But anyway, hi everybody. I'm suffering from allergies, so I got my sexy voices back for the next month, where I sound like, I'm doing movie trailers.
People who are longtime viewers of Evercast and our channels will know. I think what Pete is referring to is the poop faces. So if you know, you know.
Yeah, and the voice you'll know. Every year for 2 months I go through allergies and I sound like I got like a white guy's interpreting Barry White's voice. Like it's not intentionally, it's just the constant allergies.
Yep. Allergies suck. And then of course, below me we've got Crow.
Oh, I don't even hear the audio.
What
is going on?
How is it like I've known you for 3+ years? How are you constantly having problems with your OBS? You are supposed to be an expert.
It's not OBS, it's Windows. Because every time Windows updates, literally, it's not OBS.
Sure.
Windows changes its audio settings. It thinks like all of a sudden.
It's hilarious. His audio will work like every other show.
Dude, it's like you can work magic with that stuff, and he's like, you got a board and everything. But I think, Crow, you're a constant tinkerer. You're never happy with your setup.
I was fine with it. I streamed at least for 2 weeks, like every other day.
I know.
Fine. Yeah. I update Windows, everything breaks.
It's only an Evercast, right? It's only.
Wait, do you have Windows 11?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your problem. I won't upgrade. I kept Windows 10.
I don't think I think I'd still have the same problem with Windows 10.
But you didn't for 2 weeks.
But I was using Windows 11 for 2 weeks.
All right. Okay, I'm done then.
Oh man! All right, let's say hi to the chat with everybody.
Hello, chat.
In the literal sense, hello, Lloyd JRM.
I'm waiting for the birthday boy to join. I haven't seen him yet.
Gotcha. We got Jen Joke, we got Dan Ruff.
Oh, I see the problem.
Lucy Willis, Julian D, Ian Hobbies in the house, Phantom Fiction, Nick the Toy Collector, RMGBTV. We got Jason Shears. Oh yeah! Sorry, Kool-Aid Man, Randy Savage. What else? Who else do we have? We got Disco 74, Snake Eater, Dewey Hernandez, and Rick B. Welcome everybody! Feeling a good energy this morning, and coffee.
Oh, we have 2 birthdays to shout out today. The first one I'll do because I know he's watching. I want to say a big happy birthday from his dad, who's not here, Rich, but all of us to Douglas, Rich's boy. It's his birthday today, so happy birthday, Douglas. Hope you're having a great birthday week, and make sure your dad buys you lots of expensive stuff. And the other birthday wish hasn't joined yet, so I'm going to wait for that person to join before we do our shout out.
It sounds like we're camping.
So you do hear that.
Yes. Double Dragon 3, huh? Interesting choice. That's like the worst Double Dragon. But hey, I respect that you picked the name.
Technically, it runs better on in the arcade than Double Dragon 2 does sometimes. I'm just saying.
Alrighty. All right. So how was everybody's week here?
I was busy. I actually only gotten 1 or 2 more games into Indie Heroes Collection 2. But I'm actually on the 3rd game. Actually, when I say the 3rd game, I've already played the 2 trilogies. So I don't know if you want to consider that to be 2 games or 6 games, even though the 1 collection really is just like 1 game is twice. And but like the Grunio Circa collection, that was 3 completely different games.
Yeah.
That was interesting. I wound up playing through every single one of them, except for the first one, which you can't play through.
Well, you know what? Speaking of indie and games of the month, you know what? That might be a good segue. Let's talk about some Evercade news. Let's talk about what's happened. You know, what's happened this week. We got some stuff here. Put up the notes on the screen, and hopefully, people can see that. Can see that here. So yeah, obviously,
this
not going to
is
read
what
every.
I was looking for, and I never found that page.
The patch notes?
I guess because I only saw the one link that talked about the game of the month.
So you know what? It's a little bit buried. You have to go to the Evercade. I'll talk about that for a second. Go to the Evercade.
I should have found it under Discord. I just never looked.
If you go to evercadeco.uk, then you gotta go under the FAQs, and then they have the EXP, the VS, and handheld, and then you can go under like the release notes, and they have them. They have all previous ones, but yeah, it was a little bit silent. But yeah, if you kind of do have to pay attention to Discord for when the stuff comes out. But
I wonder how many people are not gonna play Thunderpaw because they don't want to remove Donut Dodo.
Okay, let me say about this Donut Dodo. If you really want to play Donut Dodo, you can play it on almost any other device. You just have to buy it.
No, yeah, that's true.
If you like the game that much, there's almost nothing stopping you from playing it.
True. It's only $5. Yeah, I think that's what I asked people in a poll a while back, and some people were going to keep it, some people were going to flash. But no, that's definitely a great thing. People have asked me, I'm like, well, I already have it on Steam Deck, but I'm like, yeah, you can buy it on Steam and like run it like on a low-powered PC.
I don't think it's on Android. I think I looked for that once before.
No, and it wasn't on
just
PS4.
Out of curiosity.
It might
Oh,
be
it's on the PS4?
PS too. Like, isn't it everywhere? Pretty sure it's everywhere.
It might be on PS4 now. I know for a while it wasn't. But yeah.
Okay.
We'll talk about that Gen joke. But yeah, that's for me. Like I was thinking about one of them, but no, I want to experience the new games. But I think like if I also had the standard EXP, then maybe I would keep that because like VS, I use that for all my capture until I can tinker and mess with the EXP. EXP is the main one that I play, but if I had another EXP, I would maybe keep it for now. But yeah, I wonder. Like the dilemma, if you only have one. So they added bonuses. So of course, then we get Thunderpaw, and then I would hope they would add immediate support.
What does that mean? Added bonuses for upcoming cartridge and play.
Yeah, like I don't understand that. It's like,
bonuses. No.
What's the bonuses?
Like, we added bonuses that you can't access yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they should have added a secret game for Total Plan 1 and 2 because there is none.
They did.
I think there is.
They did.
Yeah,
they
I'm
did.
pretty sure there is because I looked it up.
When you put both carts in, it just says 15.
No,
I'm pretty sure because I remember capturing
there's
some
15
of that stuff.
games, 7 and 8, and when I put it both in my XP, there's only 15 titles on the screen.
I'm gonna look it up right now.
You do you do get a bonus game. I would have.
Really?
I promise.
Yeah, it's Twin Hawk. It's Twin Hawk for the Genesis. So Twin
Yep.
Hawk shows up twice in your list.
Yep.
But it only says 15 games.
Well,
As in-
I
Does it?
didn't look at that. I just remember
Yeah.
that it
Yeah, it's
does.
in my,
You do get an extra game,
Yeah, yeah. And it's
but
kinda-
it's a port of the arcade game. So I
Yes.
think that's kind of weird. It's like not an arcade game. It's a Genesis port of Twin Hawk, which is
Yep.
on Total Plan 2.
Yep. Yeah, I know. You'll
Yeah,
see
that's
like
kind of weak sauce.
you'll see in my next week's video that got delayed because of the game of the month. Well, I was like, why do we have two of the same game? Like I thought it was a mistake. Yeah, it's kind of
Is the number though, Julian? Is the number still saying 15? Because that's what drew me off. I didn't see a number update, and I'm like, all right, well, I didn't look further than that.
yeah. I can't remember if there is, but yeah, it was kind of it was interesting because I know Sean was teasing us saying he was enjoying that game, but it's different. It's I don't know. I know what you mean. Like maybe you're expecting like a different game, but I thought it was kind of neat. Like I wouldn't mind a
8,
console
7.
some console games like that. But yeah,
I just think it's weak sauce.
weak sauce.
Like, I mean, come on.
Well, they can't
You
give
know,
us
I
their
wonder-
better stuff for free. No.
Well, a
I'm just
different
wondering
game.
I
if
know.
there's like some sort of glitch with the way it adds the number of games. Whether,
Sure, I don't
maybe
know.
It just like looks at the unique game names and counts that up. And since Twin Hawk is there twice, it
It could-
doesn't
yeah.
realize it.
That's true.
Well,
It could
I
be.
am going to boot it up and just see right now.
Yeah, yeah. But
I
I
want to know.
I think these are going to be hidden games. By the way, I hope I've really been wanting to play like Hummings and Tate mode, so I hope on the EXP, I hope that we get the ability to unlock that. Yeah, there's some typos with with themes and layouts, and I know there's some people that aggressively like to report that. Okay, so this I didn't so like to me this wasn't advertised well. Like I didn't know that this was a live beta feature. I would have. I don't know.
It was going to be in the next update, but when the update was the adding the game of the month, I didn't know if that counted or not.
No, and I did. That's why I didn't. I didn't. I didn't know that it was like a live beta feature, like something we can talk about and all that. So that's where So this I will say, and I did like a little. I made like a little short. I did test it with Street Fighter 2, and for me now, Street Fighter 2 is very much playable. Didn't take much for me to get used to the D-pad. I can do like my Hadoukens, and I can do my Dragon Punches. And it is the version I do remember playing fondly the most in the Super Nintendo, where like it is really hard, like a little bit harder. But I'm enjoying it. I'm stuck on E Honda.
Yeah, I'm used to using the punches, the hard punches on the shoulder buttons. I've always played it that way, so I don't really think that that'll help me play the game at all.
For me, it was night and day. Or like, even just being able to like on some of the arcade games, just being able to remap your shoot button just to X, like that's huge. Like I've tested that like on a few games, like on Topolan 2, like Demon World, like that, like just like naturally like muscle memory. It makes all the difference. I'm glad.
I'm sure it'll come in handy eventually for me. Because sometimes when I start to play a game, I like, I kind of wish it was this button, but then I just because I'm using arcade stick most of the time anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. But
oh yeah, of course. But here's the biggest thing that I like, and I know that like in RetroArch it would do. It's very rare that it would do this. So what's like frustrating? Let's say like on RetroArch, if you wanted to remap Street Fighter, it would be like, what's the button for A? This actually tells you what's the button for weak punch, strong punch, medium punch. What's the button like in other games for shoot and jump?
Okay, that makes sense. So they actually went through
Yes.
the trouble of
Yes.
identifying which button does what for each game.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly correct. And that, to me, that's huge because it makes it super stupid easy. Otherwise,
RetroArch is kind of different though because it's an overall setting just for that emulator, that core. It's not for the game. That could be why too. I mean, you can't assign it per game, but it doesn't know what ROMs you're going to be playing through it, so it wouldn't know.
Comes to announcing big button. We said, but that wasn't under. Was it under announcements? Did I just miss? Let me see. Did I just miss that?
I know that I hadn't even looked. I meant to look, but I was so busy that I never bothered to look.
Game of the month. Nope. See, it says, hey, game of the month, next month release.
Under announcements.
See, there's, no, see, that's the thing. You go to it, and then I'll go to the link, and then it's just to the game. It's just the game of the month. They don't,
That's the one I saw. I didn't know if it was
see, that's the
posted
problem.
somewhere else.
Yeah, no, that's a problem that it It wasn't talked about there.
But there was, before that, there was a mention that it would be in the next update. But I didn't know if this was the update.
Yeah, but that's been talked about for like a little while. So, but I'm glad. You may have missed it, Sean. But I was saying that like now like Street Fighter 2 is like playable for me, and it's a lot of fun and like really cool to have that on Evercade. So, I like that it's I like that it's I like that it's working. For me, I don't whether it saves it to the cart or it saves it to the console. Like I don't care as long as it works. Like that isn't. I mean, it would be neat eventually to have it on the cart because you can move it between the VS. But if you have to remap a game again, like who cares? I'm just happy that it's there. And one thing that's interesting too is that like if you like on Nintendo, if you remap A and B, you lose Turbo, and Turbo I come to find out Turbo is only there because from like the third parties and all that. But if they can make it work, it's great. If not, I won't beat you up over it too much, Sean. I'm just happy that we have per game button remapping, even if in a beta state. I haven't had issues with the few games that I've tried so far. I think that it's good. And one thing I was going to say too, I like you better get. Are you okay? Funny, yes, actually. So no, I am because I feel like I think I'm like the fourth or fifth fighter in, and of course it gets really harder. So now like I'm at E Honda, and I've almost beat him. I like to do the save state before the matches. I don't want to do a save state after one win. Like I want to earn it. But yes, no, definitely I'm better. Like my muscle memory back to when I played it on like Super Nintendo beta console. So if we do something, yeah. No, that makes sense. No, see, I like that. That makes sense, and I'm fine. I'm fine with that. I was gonna say the one thing I do like that you guys have made it so that you can't like shoot yourself in the foot. Like you can't you can't just remap the directional because you can't like remap like let's say like up to R, which would be stupid. Like why would anybody want to do that?
I do that.
Yeah, you gotta have limits to that, right? You can't have full button remap.
Yeah.
But I'm sure somebody will complain about
Of
that.
course. Yeah.
I might not want to do it, but I want the freedom to do it.
But yeah, no, I like how they made it. How they made it.
You want your
simple.
freedom fries, don't you?
Yep.
But the thing that I like about this is because some games you can go in there and you can remap buttons, but sometimes then you have to like with Genesis games you have to think what's the you know what I mean. So this I like it makes it super stupid easy.
It already made Ghouls and Ghosts better for me, being able to remap my shoot to X so I can do AX like that. That's my preferred way to play it. So yeah, that's how it works.
Might as well try
it's
it
the most comfortable.
Yeah, it was pretty straightforward. I mean, it's like it probably wasn't intuitive in just saying like whenever they highlight the button, you got to press the button you want it changed to. Like it could probably have a little bit of a tutorial around that, but I only screwed it up once, and I'm like, oh, okay, now I know what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
It'll probably be forever in beta.
And you know what? As long as it works, I mean that's.
You mean like those games on Steam that are in early access for 8
Well,
years?
Yeah, I think what you need to do, it works, which is good. It has to permanently save. Like if I've got to constantly do that every time an update happens, then epic fail, right? So it should save to system memory. Imagine every time they put a firmware once a month or a couple times a month, you got to re-update your button mapping.
Well, that'd be
yeah, that would suck.
So we'll
I
find
would
out.
never use the feature.
Yeah, that's true. Like you have like of the four, you have like 100 of your favorite games like remapped. Yeah, well, that'll be something we'll have to test next month. Hopefully, it won't break it and it'll keep all our button remapping.
Yeah, I'm gonna mess around with it on Capcom Collection first and mess around with that. I don't want to go too hardcore because I'm scared that it's beta, so it might just wipe everything out when it goes full 1.0.
Oh, and then you have to like do all your button remap. Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, that's my biggest fear. Like it just wipes everything I have done, and I'm like, that sucks.
Yeah, I've done it. I've done it per game, like as I've needed it with a few. Like the
tweet GameSack. Hey, GameSack, go play GameSack right here. Look, right here. Here, look, it's all there for you. Go, have fun.
Right. Let him know.
What would be nice is if the one thing I'm noticing is once you change the button configuration, what if you forget the way you have it set up? Like, is there a way to
well, you can't solve everything.
You have it set up?
No, there is. When you go to the menu button, go to display controls.
It shows the new one
when you're in the game. I
Yes.
was like changed it, and I was like, well, how do I know where I changed it? Like, you have
Oh.
to actually go into the game.
You have to go into the game.
Oh, it doesn't update it before, like it doesn't update it display. That's pretty cool, actually. I like that.
Yeah. That's how. See,
The stupid on-off switch on this Evercade
Yeah,
AXP is
you're
driving
right
me nuts.
about
I
that.
never know when it's on or off. It's like, give me a goddamn analog switch.
I miss the slider.
I miss the slider so badly.
Well, it's the whole reason they did this is because that's the way it's set up on the VS.
Well, so I know, like, no, I know what you mean. Like, you have to hold it down and look for the blinking. Like with the slider, you would hear that click. With like the Steam Deck, I hear the. So like I know.
I mean, the one thing that I always missed is the volume. That's a dial instead of the buttons. But
Oh, you know what? So that's that's the next
Julian,
quality.
you're full of poop.
So now
5 minutes? No way, Julian. Full of poop.
So you know what? So here are the next two quality of life features that actually, for me, that I hope we see in the future. One, like just show that when you turn the volume up and down, show where your volume is at, because
like on
irritating.
like a TV when you like
Yes.
Yeah, I would love
up and
that,
down the
yeah.
volume, you actually see a meter on the screen where
Yes.
the level is.
That, and I actually, instead of like showing the bar for the battery, I actually want a percentage. That's.
Don't they have that? Oh, I guess not. They had
No,
that in
no.
the old the other Evercade.
Yes, yeah. Because what's it like? Because like I've been at 2 bars and I'm like, okay, I want to go to the latest firmware update, and it says like you're not at 50%. I'm like, well, I don't know that, so then I have to like plug it in and. But I will say though, at least like the chart, like, oh my god, this thing charges like so much faster. So like that was a huge thing, and like I absolutely love the screen, like that. So that's there's a lot of really great stuff. So yeah, I do like the Blaze. When they do good on their promises. They're a small company. We get there slowly, which is fine, but we are getting there, right? Yeah, the battery needs to be displayed. The Steam Deck is really spoiled me because like you get that whole bar like with your percentages. So it's like they have that for geeks. Like how much battery, how much your CPU is using.
I don't know, man, but I think the switch is my biggest problem with this game. Like the on-off switch. Lloyd, me and you, buddy, drives me nuts.
Interesting. So if you can change the controls while you're in the game, you have to leave the game to change the controls
Yes.
and then go back in the game. Okay.
Yes. See, I was thinking the display controls, you could do it initially. Yeah, I know what you mean. If anything, like sometimes I've accidentally like kind of like set it down on the chair to plug it in, and like I've like bumped it. It's like, yeah. For the Evercade handheld 2.0, yeah, that's like change back to the Game Boy style slider switch or whatever. But I mean, you can't have everything. I mean, we do get so many more improvements, but we can still talk about like stuff that we'd like to.
Well, hopefully we still get them, and that Hyper Megatech doesn't distract them too much.
I know, right?
Oh wait.
I just love saying Hyper Megatech.
Hyper
Megatech?
No, you broke it, Crow.
Yeah, it's still broken. Well, the other audio was coming from somewhere else.
Oh, okay. That's cool. They'll do a tutorial when the feature's 100%. Nice. Interesting. Didn't support it. Huh.
Yeah, let me see if it's coming through.
So they did. Nope. Yeah,
No,
so
I know.
so
I
they
didn't change anything. I just wanted to I wanted to see if the audio was being fed through somewhere.
Profuse. You know what? Okay. You know what? I wonder. And Sean, I don't know. Would it be possible to update the firmware, and maybe you could turn something on called accidental press, or maybe you would have to like hold it for a few seconds, like you do the VS. I don't know. I don't know if that's possible, but maybe. Dang, we did mention that in the QA. I love that. It's like, you guys should know. We always bust balls. Oh, so he said yes, we could make that an update. Make that an update on the firmware. Oh wait, there's more to do. Okay, yeah, I think that would be good. Another thing that you could do too, that it would actually solve the problem that Pete had, is you could like a lot of devices will have what they call like a travel mode, where you put it in travel mode and then you can't turn the thing on unless you plug it into power. Although if you did that to take it on the plane, then you'd have to have your backup battery to.
Yep.
I don't know, but those might be some other neat thing. I like it if you have to actually like hold it down, like one Mississippi, two Mississippi, boop, have it turn
Man,
on.
Strider's now playable because of button remapping.
Yeah, see that'll be so much. It's funny. I've noticed like even with Captain Commando remapping like those two, but like it makes such a big difference for muscle memory. Like you know what I mean? Like it's crazy, right? Like what we're used to, the way buttons are mapped, it makes a huge difference. Oh, higher a flight mode. No, awesome. See,
I just don't want it to catch on fire while I'm on a plane.
I know, right?
Because the button switch is so unintuitive. Like, oh my god! At least give me like while you're holding it down, put a countdown on the screen saying powering off, so I know.
Yeah, everything is people's preferences. Yeah, of course.
Oh, don't be so sensitive, Sean. What the heck, man?
Yeah, we're just talking about having a device even do that.
Man, like come on.
Yeah, I know. No need to defend. But hey, it's because of people like us of why the device keeps getting better and better.
I think the people who've spent literally thousands of dollars on your products could probably voice a bit of criticism on it.
The opposite way. Now he's just trolling. No, it's like we hear on the news today. There was an attempted terrorist bombing on a plane by this device called an Evercade, and then now Evercade gets in the news for the wrong reason. It's like because it heats up so much. But yeah, no, all good stuff. Oh, so real quick before we do jump into the next thing, I do have a poll that I want, and because I know we talked about.
We haven't talked about game of the month.
Oh, you're right. Oop.
Well, I don't have anything to say about it.
The greatest game of the month ever, in my opinion.
Why don't you start us off?
Greater than Donut Dodo?
I think so. Okay. Donut Dodo is a good game, but I think the hype around it. Jeez, I just want to put you in sleep. Go and sleep, you stupid thing.
He's talking to his dog.
No. Donut Dodo, I think, is overrated. Like it's a fun game, but I mean, let's be honest. The new game is much more depth and breadth than Donut Dodo.
Let's put it this way: aside from this new Thunderpaw game of the month, where would you rank Donut Dodo as in ranks of previous games of the month?
Oh, I would put it definitely in top 3.
Okay.
I do enjoy it. I'm a Popeye fan, right? Popeye is one of my favorite arcade games of all time, and Donut Dodo elicits that feeling. But
I can see that.
But what the new one is, Thunderpaw, just feels a lot. It's more of a game for me, more modern, because it is like it just feels more video game.
I purposefully haven't touched it yet, just because I decided I was going to play it for the first time on a live stream. So that's
I just like it. I really like it.
So okay. So no,
But I can't rate it in top 3 yet because I haven't played enough of it. You know what I mean? Like I played enough of Dodo that it's in the top 3 for me.
Okay.
So I decided a game of the month. If it's a game that I like and I enjoy it and I beat it, I'm going to do so because I'm going to get the cart anyways. And I've gone back since I've gotten the cart and played things like Disco Worm and Indie Heroes 2. So so Pete brings up some great points, and I'll tell you why. So
I always do.
So here's the thing, right? And this is so Donut Dodo is a great game, but here's the downside. It's not like we've all played it, or a lot of us have played it, like owned it on Steam, played it on Steam Deck. So it wasn't as a surprise versus like this game of the month, like, we'd like never played it before. It feels really polished. It's like you get Super Mario Brothers 3 vibes all over the place. And I think for a lot of us, like Discovery, like the Discovery on this game was like through the roof, And
but we all played it so long ago, right?
Yeah.
Like for me, the amazingness of it wore off months and months and months ago. But I'm still happy that it's going to be on my favorite retro console.
I mean, I hadn't played it before, so
yeah.
I had at least over like 5 hours, or more.
Yeah, we played it a while ago. Like I'm pretty sure. I want to say it came out on the VCS for some reason. I'm pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure it did. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that's where I played most of it. Yeah, but it's been a while, right? It's been on the VCS for not a year.
Well, I've had it on Steam for a while. I just never played it.
But yeah, I like this game. I think it's really fun. But I'm not playing it anymore. I'm gonna wait till it comes out on cart, so I can really dig my teeth into it and finish it then.
Yeah, it's a fun game. So like, if I had time, I would have pulled the clip. So Rich isn't here, so I can't see his reaction. Go ahead. So go to Retro Rich's channel. Go ahead and watch his first look at the game. And so like, what's hilarious is towards the end of towards the end, like to get through the level, you have to like beat all the enemies. And like I kind of rendered this, but if you go to where like if you go to the end of the level, you'll see this big wall that'll block you. Rich didn't do that. And so it was hilarious is that like when he got down to 0, he was trying to go in there and go into the door. Like I laughed so hard. He's like, I can't go in the door.
I made that mistake for 2 seconds, and I'm like, oh yeah, the wall's gone. I just went through the wall.
But Rich but Rich was more than 2. It was great. Like I don't know. I need to.
Yeah, no, it's fun. Like I'm on the second level. I've done the playthrough, and I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna wait for this to come out on cart now. And that's what I did with the previous, because when I go on holidays, I usually take an arcade game, a console game, and an Indie Heroes game. And so, I want to have those available for when I go on holidays, right? Because that's the only console I take with me is the EXP, or it used to be the OG Evercade on holidays. So
yeah,
which
hey, the other birthday shout out hasn't been in the chat yet, have they?
Yeah, I'm gonna do the birthday shout out, and if he joins, I'll join again. So we had one of our viewers of all of our channels and content, Gamertron, is celebrating his birthday today, and his wonderful girlfriend, Amy Lee, I think that's her name. Yes, Amy Lee sent a note to Amy, not Amy Lee. Sorry, but apologies. Sent a note to Rich and wanted us to give a shout out because he's a huge fan of the show. He watches all of our channels. He's subscribed to everything. So Gamertron, I don't want to mention your full name, your real name, because I just don't want to do that. Happy birthday. Thank you so much for supporting all of our channels. You've been subscribed to all of us. You comment in all our channels, and it's really cool. So happy birthday. Hopefully you watch this and rewind. And if not, if you join the show, we'll give you a birthday shout out live. Yeah, everybody, congratulate him.
Heck yeah.
And we do birthday shout outs. We do anniversary shout outs, all kinds of shout outs, positive shout outs.
Yeah.
Hey, if
we'll
you
do shout outs for your aunts,
happy about
uncles.
it, we'll shout that out.
Yep. Your pets. No, I'm just kidding. Your goldfish.
Yeah. Pet's birthday, goldfish. End of allergy season.
Oh God.
All right, but game of the month. Yeah, great. Go try it. You'll have lots of fun.
So okay, I have a funny derp confession about that real quick about game of the month. So I went ahead, did my initial impressions on the VS, made the video, did a save state, and then like later that day or something, I went to open the XP, and I go to load save state, nothing happens, and I'm like, what happened? Where's my save? This is broken. And then I was like, oh yeah, I forgot. This is built in. That is built in. It's not on the cart yet. So I admit, I admit that. I've been spoiled by being able to swap carts around and everything else. Anyways, so yeah, let me share a poll here. So I know we talk a lot about we kind of talked about bringing devices on vacation and all this. So I was really curious, and I wanted to ask our viewers, when I go on vacation, I blank bring my Evercade with me. You did?
I didn't. I need to go.
I didn't. You do.
Now.
Got 51 votes. Yeah. Well, so 40, but yeah, 43% of the people said they always
44%.
do. 44%. 44. See if I refresh.
I just voted.
Should update. Yep, now it did. Yeah, 44%. All right.
Yeah, I always take my Evercade. Always take Evercade with me because it's bite-sized gaming. Crow, you took yours camping one time, right? Because we did a show with you camping.
Well, yeah, that's it was funny because I was actually capturing footage while I was doing that.
Yeah, you were working.
Yeah.
Yeah. But some
I
people
just plugged into my laptop and captured footage.
Some people are with me like in the never. Some people, some people sometimes. Here's the other thing with me too that people don't know. So as you'll know, like sometimes I put on my that's weird to look blue. I put on my glasses like on and off. So in order for me to be able to like read things up close, like if I don't have my glasses on, I strain. And so for me to enjoy gaming, even like on a big screen like the Steam Deck, I really need my glasses. So if I bring a portable with me, then I have to decide, do I want to bring my glasses with me or my backup glasses? And it's kind of a whole thing. So that factors.
Well, if you're driving on your vacation, hopefully you're taking your glasses. So.
Oh no, I don't need it only up close though. Like I've got 20/20.
But how do you tell how fast you're going?
I can read this, but I can see. It's kind of like more like if I have to like, it's like we don't know how fast.
I'm
but,
going fast.
But like for they're after me, guys. But for stuff up stuff up close or detailed things, like even now, like I can kind of do it. But sometimes like I do really need that, like for concentration, my eyes will hurt. So that factors a little bit into it.
Yeah.
For me, I see that there's like merit when you have downtime. For me, like sometimes I've done that in the past, and then I rarely play it or I don't, and then I'm all worried about, especially like the limited edition, like the Evercade, and like, I'd have to probably bring like the white handheld with me, but then I'm not going to get like as good of a screen and all that. So those are more like ed dilemmas for different things.
Yep.
But I think it's in it always that people are bringing it, so that's a. That's pretty.
I mean, that's the joy. I'm a portable gamer first, so that's the whole point. Like that's why I love portable gaming, is because I could take it anywhere I go, and if I feel like I've got some downtime and get some gaming in, and just have some fun, right? Because there's moments during vacation where it's like, yeah, you just want to relax. Everybody could be gone to sleep, or could be in the pool, or could be doing something, and you're like, you know what? Today, like I'm gonna do this. So. I like that. The Evercade's the only thing I'll take. Before I used to take my Vita with me, or my DS.
Gotcha. I think like if I was somebody who traveled a lot, I think I would have to buy like the standard edition, and then if I had like certain travel cart, I would maybe have to buy duplicates, and then maybe I wouldn't worry as much. I don't know, or just at least this. But I wouldn't bring something like maybe like Namco One. Maybe that's kind of more than like if something does happen, yeah, it's $20. You rebuy a collection and all that, because the Steam Deck, while you can have more like it's huge, right? Like it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more difficult.
Takes up a lot more room, right?
For like
so, the Evercade can fit in your pocket, really.
Yes. Ooh.
Though I'd have to make sure it's completely off before I put it in my cargo shorts.
Yes. It's not as portable as this, though.
No. No, for me, portable gaming is definitely like it's like gaming like around the house, not being tied to a TV. But obviously, people like to like to take it with you. But yeah, no, I know what you mean. Like definitely, like I'm going to get my usual oil change, car rotation is going to take an hour and a half. I'll something like that. Yeah, I'm probably going to bring my Evercade with me. It's a lot smaller and easier than like a Steam Deck, and that's actually what I did.
Yeah, I was going to say you said vacation, but they don't do vacation in UK.
They do holidays.
Holiday.
There you go.
Holidays.
Yeah, the white one.
Yeah, holidays, and he's English, so he probably gets 10 weeks vacation a year.
Well, here's the other thing too. Here's what's a little bit different for me about Evercade. So for me, like I understand like Evercade, it is portable. You can bring 3 collections, but like with me, like and I'm sure maybe like all of us, like I get a kick out of like looking at all the carts, seeing what one I want to, seeing like physically look, seeing what stuff I want to pop in, see what I have like from the booklet. Like for a long vacation, I'm like could I have just 4 carts to keep my attention, or do I need a bigger library? Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. That's an interesting thing. But if you're just kind of using it.
Well, the Capcom collection makes it just a no-brainer for me.
That's right. Time to use it.
So he's saying he's so busy he doesn't have time to use vacation.
it. Yeah. No, and I know that's why there was like all that controversy of having a built-in collection. No, but for exactly those reasons, yeah. Just have a backup standard. Grab like you said, you get like what an arcade cart, a retro cart, and what an indie cart.
Yeah.
I
usually rotate them in and out.
Yeah,
but usually, I'm pretty sure it's going to be probably arcade and indie heroes with me this time.
Yeah. See, that's more a great
arcade. I'm getting tired of the console collection, to be honest with you. So.
No, I hear you, because there's like a lot of variety, because like you got the built-in Capcoms, you got all those arcade and Mega Man 2 and good stuff, and then another arcade that's good, and then indie heroes, a wide variety. So yeah, actually, Sean, while you're here, we could, what was kind of interesting. I think we touched on this a little bit. Like I wonder at some point if like the red collection, like you guys will pause that like at 30, and then if you'll do like a new yellow line, that'll just be like indie games or stuff like that. We were just like we were just kind of curious, or maybe if red will start to turn more into that. But yeah, we've kind of talked about that. But yeah, I think it's all fun stuff. all of us game in different ways and bring things. Although I will say though, for me, like since I've gotten my EXP, I've only touched my my VS to capture footage. Like it's still here in my office. Like I haven't moved it back to the TV yet.
I only touched this thing during the Evercast.
Why would we?
I always play on the VS.
We're still licensing games. No, so it's kind of more like, and you know what? That might. I think I kind of did do a poll. No, we're just wondering like if the focus was shifting from just like console games more to like arcade, more to indie. I mean, technically, if you're still doing indie games, you could keep the red line, but we didn't know if like 30 was like the round number, and then or would another color be like confusing to people. But yeah, no, that's a good point. Or maybe we just want to see indie games get its own love because its own special color. I guess maybe in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter as much. But let's see what else. What else is everyone on everyone's mind, Evercade wise, that we want to? Do we want to speculate like what's going to be on the anniversary show in May? Do we want to talk?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. So what do you guys think? I think they're gonna. Do we think they're gonna announce a big developer? I guess let's start with.
Well, it got to be something big. It's the anniversary show, right? Can't be. I expect it to be a huge announcement, software wise.
Heck yeah. Like, do you think that maybe? Do you think it's too soon, or do you think we could see leaderboards or some type of online play, or is that too soon?
I don't think it's too soon. I mean, like, it's going into their 4th year in existence. I mean, like, they got to do something in that realm, right? They've created an ecosystem, whether they like it or not, right? And people want that. Like, it's not like leaderboards and this ecosystem idea came out of the blue. People have been wanting it for years now. So, I mean, if they're not working on it, I'd just like to know, hey, we're never going to work on it. You know what I mean? So we can close the book on it, because it's just I don't know, disingenuous in my part for me for that. That's what I think. So I'm thinking it's going to be software related, big update software, maybe a new feature coming, and then maybe a major console company like a Sega or something like that. I think that's what they're probably going to do.
Yeah, big developer and in a system like
and
exactly.
A software update
Yes.
that we've been wanting for the game, for the ecosystem. I'm just really hoping that Hyper Mega Tech doesn't distract them too much from core Evercade stuff, because they are a small company and there's only so many of them there, right? Like, unless Hyper Mega Tech is completely bunch of different people doing stuff.
I'm hoping,
again,
yeah.
It's like Bilbo, right? Spreading too little butter over a piece of toast, it gets thin, right?
Leaderboards. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's okay. So yeah, I figured I was hoping with leaderboards they're working on that over multiplayer. I really want leaderboards like with the arcade like so bad. And I really want that because like for me, like I know that they have like Katie's challenges and all that stuff, but for me, like I want that stuff to be built in, because like for having it being like a too manual of a process and then like rely on people like not cheating, I don't know, you know what I mean? Like that's kind of like my whole thing, like because I want to say like on the Evercade, because it's I'm not saying people couldn't cheat, but if they do it right, like force you to go into competition mode for leaderboards, automatically have your scores saved for arcade games, so that way you could do competition mode, have your local score saved. If they do it right, then it'll be good. Like it'll I don't want to say there'll be non-existent cheaters, but you can feel like you really earned, like you earned that score or whatever. And in our small community, it'll be a lot of it'll be like a lot of fun. So that's kind of like Donut Dodo, like that, like that would be a great, like with leaderboards, like that would be a great game. Like that would be fun, and then all like all the interactions, and people start like posting their scores. Oh, so yes, so like here's kind of my thing on it. Like as much as like I do love Sega, if I had my choice, if you could have TurboGrafx 16 or Sega, like I don't know, I think I would take TurboGrafx 16 like that.
Oh. So leaderboards is something you're working on. So that's not an announcement. So they can't use that as an announcement. Maybe we already know about that. So
I think that TurboGrafx 16, Hudson, NEC, Konami
the Bonk
is
collection
more likely than Sega. I don't know. I just feel that way.
Well, and Bonk and like TurboGrafx 16 games are super stupid expensive.
Yeah.
That's why I sold them.
Bonks.
And
Yeah.
they were good looking games, right? They were in between power wise the NES and the Super Nintendo. So they're like,
Well, that's when the system came out, in between the NES and Super Nintendo.
Yeah. But like, yeah, like, you know, so leaderboards, we're getting that, so we know that. So like, yeah, a nice big announcement, which would be cool. I expect a big announcement. Like, there's no reason why we wouldn't get a big announcement.
So
Something.
I think like TurboGrafx, because like on I calling Retro Gamers, we had Super Mega Graphics
Here's the
64,
thing.
and that's like hold that thought for a second. That's like his favorite. That's like his favorite console, and all that. And you know, we were talking about like how it did have like look better, had better graphics, and all that. And yeah, I would really like to see it. Matter of fact, he had this to say.
Retro Kill Dash 9.
Sorry, had to do that. Nobody summoned me. I had to summon myself, and do have more of those good take. But no, but in all seriousness, TurboGrafx 16 would love to see that. Bonks would be like a great start, and they are owned by Konami. Like I don't know, I'd rather have TurboGrafx than just like Konami games. But that's
Well, you'd wind up getting both, because Konami owns the TurboGrafx games. Hudson,
True.
for the most part.
Yeah, but that would be Sega. I mean, Sega would be fun. I mean, like again, like Sega. I think like Sega by itself wouldn't get the hype going. Something like Sega and a Master System collection, like that would be. I think would or Sega Master System / Game Gear, like that would do it. Of course, Neo Geo would. That would definitely. That would definitely do it. What if they were able to get something like a Paprium? Like, would that be special enough to have like for Evercade?
Yeah, we've asked for that a while. Like, well, could the Evercade run that? Because that had the special stuff in the cart, right?
Yes. But let's.
Is it emulatable? Can it be emulated?
I'm sure it could be. Anything can be emulated.
Yeah.
Cheaply?
I think that, and I know like the developers are kind of difficult to get a hold of and work. Let's say if they said, hey, we're going to strike a deal. Let's say they made it possible. Let's say that there's special sauce that the developers gave to Blaze inject in the emulator for that lockout chip, or maybe they put it. I don't know. Let's say they can just make it work.
Yeah, that'd be actually an announcement that would shock me. It would be probably the only thing. A Super Mario Brothers All Stars collection.
So that's okay. So that's kind of the thing. So would we be more excited, like, let's say, getting something like a major announcement in the system, but like something we've never played before? Like, is that kind of like is that better than like, oh, okay, here's like the Castlevania collection? Like, I mean, that would be cool, but
well, there'd be there's already several of them. They have they have one, and then they have another one for the Game Boy Advanced, the portable ones, because there were like Portrait of Ruin and Aria of Sorrow.
Those are DS games.
Yeah.
They're probably going to announce the Collector Vision collection, because that's the worst kept secret in Evercade right now. I'm just the rumor pans out that it's 4 games and 3 of them are Sydney Hunter. Kind of disappointed by that, but I'll be very critical of that, but because there's so much more Collector Vision has, but pretty sure they're going to have to announce that sooner or later, because John keeps announcing it himself.
Hopefully that's not the big hopefully that's not like the big announcement.
Yeah, I'm expecting something big software wise. Like, it's like this is their time to shine, right? This is their anniversary month. It's like, do it, make it big.
Yeah, for me personally, I'm really hoping that like the Capcom collection opened the doors, and now we start to see that. Or it would be like, hey, the acquisition didn't go through with Activision and Microsoft, so hey guys, guess what? Now we're getting that Activision, that 2600 Activision collection.
I don't know if I'd say that the Capcom has absolutely opened the doors, just because they can't make a cartridge of it.
Yeah, that's it, right? Like, so what major publisher doesn't have a physical collection out right now? Sega does, Capcom does.
If it's major, I'm pretty sure everybody's got.
They all have them, right? So
yeah,
they might have to go for tier 2 mega publishers and look at those. And who's left, right? Who's out there? Right. That's where it kind of gets troubling, right? Like, they could use Capcom, and then a bunch of publishers might go, yeah, we'd love to give you your games just like Capcom digitally, and they'll
Ooh,
balk at that, right?
Yeah, and
yeah.
then you wind up with maybe cartridges that don't work in the VS like the Namco ones.
Yeah, exactly. They got to stay away from that, right? They got to kind of
Hmm.
make sure it's consolidated as well as they can. Um, I think, I think, if they do get like a Sega collection, it can't be another Sonic. Like, it's going to be the same games you get on the Switch and all that. I mean, like,
Well,
or
It's
on
got
the
to be
Sega
Master
Minis.
System. It's got to be
Yeah.
Master System Game
well,
Gear. I think.
even those, like I have. It's funny because you mentioned that I rebought the Sega collections over and over and over again for whatever reason. I don't know
Yeah.
why, but it's always you're right. It is always the same games again, but I'd probably play them again.
Yeah. Right. Like, because I had the Sega Minis, right? Like, it's art. That's why I think, like, I know this is unpopular opinion, but, like, when you're done at 30 consoles, just be done with them and evolve your ecosystem to indie games and arcade games. Like, just do that. At 30, that's it for console. And if one big publisher comes and says, hey, we'll give you our catalog on cartridge and console, do it then. But, like, at 30, be done with it and then refocus now and say, hey, we're the true indie physical machine. Like, that could be a part of it. And we're the true arcade game machine. Like, it's an unpopular take, but when I look around at console, I'm like, is there anything compelling out there I want to be playing right now that's, not an indie game that's been created in the last 10 years for those consoles? Like,
Well, yeah, I would say because I like amid like again with the TurboGrafx 16, I'd be
if they
really
can't get
happy
it,
to see
though.
something like Alien Crush or Devil's Crush.
Yeah, me too. I would love a PC Engine collection, a Bunk collection, but I mean, if those things are not in the card, then like, put your focus where the indie, because you get a lot of mainstream press and publicity when you're known for modern indie games, physical.
So Pete, thank you for saying that. That's okay. When Sean asked why would we, that's what I was trying to articulate
Yeah.
and say and say earlier, because no, and also too, like, I had an eyebrow right, because there is, within our this niche market, there is a huge submarket that would love to have physical media of indie games. I remember, like, it might have been like 20 years ago, but there used to be a company that would give you like PC games like on CD to kind of do that, and then Steam sort of did away with that. But yeah, and then arcade games too. Like, you can't, like, unless you're gonna buy an arcade 1-up or spend money, get a real
Exactly,
cabinet.
right. There's 50,000 arcade games out there that I'm sure 30,000 of them can run on Evercade. But Julian, yes, I forgot Commodore. I forgot computer. So I'd say when 30 console, when they hit that 30 console, the Reds, take a break for a year and a half and focus on computer collections, indie collections, and arcade collections, and really drive that, because we only have 2 computer collections with a third coming this month, right? And no one's doing that. No one's doing physical computer collections on a retro handheld. Like, start tapping into where you're special at, because everybody's doing consoles, minis, digital, physical collections. Like, they're everywhere on the Switch, PS4, Xbox. You've done that. Great. You built your audience. Now let's move over. Let's get some more computers out and get more indies out and more arcade out. And I think you'd be better for it and more successful for it.
Yeah, and I guess that was my idea, Pete, of like the yellow line is now that pivots and that shifts to just like their indie line,
But then it would like them. Yeah, but it's just one voice. Like, I understand the red collections are cheaper for you guys to go get. I'm no dummy, but yeah.
No,
like, I mean, it's sad. We're a year into the computer collections almost, right?
Listen,
yes, has been out, like, and we only had 2 collections. That's sad.
So here's another unpopular opinion. So I'm hoping, because like they say, third time is a charm. I'm hoping that like the Amiga will be like the good computer collection. Like, that's what I'm really.
Hey, now C64 1 is good. I've learned love it, and I'm playing C64 2. And you got to give them time to get to marinate with you. That's what I'm finding, right? They're marinating with me, and what I do is like I like discovering, and my comment sections give me tips on the C64 stuff that make me enjoy them more. So, I mean, some will never marinate on you, but some will.
Marinate.
Yeah, no, it's a different, I don't know. And that's like, I like how the Amiga collection, like the Alien Breed or whatever, like that's like more action. Like, that's, I need, I don't know. We'll see. But that's like, and just the style of graphics, and it, like, it's I think it's gonna kind of more fit like when I went through like gaming. Oh, so he said they wouldn't change it unless they
Oh,
have.
yeah, but Lucy, I'm not saying get rid of it, but I mean it's unbalanced right now, right? There's like 30 console collections versus the newer stuff. Like I like to see more. That's all, and you can always come back to it. I'm not like saying abandon it forever. And to be fair, yeah, well, Sean, you guys have created your own mess there, right? Native stuff should never have been red. That should have been a different color, to be honest with you. You've kind of blurred your own lines in that stuff in the red.
Well,
So
what would you do with the Outlaws Awakening Cathedral cartridge? Because that's like
white.
half console, half half native.
I don't know. Pick a color. That's not being used. I mean,
Yeah.
anyway, that's all I'm saying. It's like,
No, I know what you mean. Like, yeah, like it started with like Xeno Crisis, but that was a homebrew after, so like that's fine. But what they could have done would be like half red, half yellow, like whatever to, they could have, So I know what you, yeah.
Think about it. Where else can you play physical arcade games? Like truly tons of these physical obscure arcade games. You can physical on the Switch. You can get the Capcom arcade collections, but like certain arcade games, like the Galco arcade, like go into those obscure arcade games because there's some wonderful ones out there. And Evercade, you can play them physically, which is awesome, and collect them. C64, where can you physically collect those on a cart? I don't know. I don't think you can
there are
outside
a
of
lot
the
of
original.
C64
Right?
did have games
But all
on the
the
cartridge.
console games, they're out there everywhere, not only physical, but they still exist and are very playable on their original hardware, right? Like, so that's what I'm just saying. Like, you can't go to your local game store and buy a cabinet for less than $20. You can't. They're like thousands of dollars or a couple hundreds at least. But on Evercade, you can go and play 6 Galco games for $20.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, geez, like that's like,
No, you bring up a good point because I remember one of the main complaints, like initially at the Namco collection, that they weren't arcade games, and Blaze did say there were. Now that they've got the arcade games, and I thought that was the whole point. Is like, yeah, no, I would love that too. Like, put the red on hold and just push. Like, if they just did like the rest of the year purple and blue, I wouldn't complain.
Julian, I would take TATE Plan 1. Yeah, I think TATE Plan 2 is probably one of the greatest curated carts they've ever done, in my opinion. That's a hot take. Like, I'm absolutely loving that collection. But like I said, we need more of those, right? Like, yeah, I don't know what their direction is and how they're gonna do it, but I think for me the money is chasing the other things.
Yeah, no, 100%. Because I think like arcade carts strike that balance between there's gonna be nostalgia, there's gonna be some games you've played, there's definitely gonna be discovery, and just the thrill of having arcade. For all those reasons you said, Pete. I really do hope they focus and pump out more arcade carts. Because honestly, like arcade carts, 100%. Like that's why I keep saying I've never had a bad arcade collection for me. It's always been a good experience.
Yeah, and I think one of the weakest ones is the Double Dragon ones, because the games, like I love Double Dragon. Don't get me wrong, but their arcade versions aren't the greatest. Like the NES versions are much better, but like that's probably the weakest one. The most famous one is probably their weakest one. How crazy is that, right? But their best ones are ones that are more obscure, like TATE Plan and Galco and Jailco and Irem, and like I mean, geez, if they only ever did those collections from now on, I'd be a happy camper, right? Like I'd be super excited. But I love my Indie Heroes. Like I still think Indie Heroes is their strongest series. By like the 3 Indie Heroes are amazing. Like they can't do wrong for me if indie games, arcade games, and computer games. They can't do wrong. I think there's so much obscurity there for them to build a reputation in the industry for doing cool stuff in those areas.
No, I agree 200%. Like, so when I sit down and I grab my Evercade, like I always have the Capcom collection, but it's like especially with the Toplin collection, like the Toplin 2 has been so good. I haven't put 1 back in, but it's like when I sit down and play that, like I kid you not, I put in like the C64 2, and then I'm like, do I really want to play this? And I'm just being honest. Like I honestly feel.
Can I recommend something for you for
Sure.
the C64s? Put them in your VS and play on the big screen, because on the EXP they're okay, but on a big screen they're much more manageable, because I feel these are better on the big screen, personally, and giving them a try though, because I've been saying Collection 1 has grown on me so much, and even I'm starting to become a fan of California games for some stupid reason. I'm actually getting good at that
See?
game.
That
Look
one
at
I didn't.
that. You know,
But here's the
I'm
other thing
actually getting
too.
good at that.
Like,
I'm actually enjoying California games. Surfing, I'm killing at surfing. Even
Like-
when I did my playthrough, you watch it. That was the game I played the most during my initial playthrough.
so here's
How
and
was
these-
that? I said
and these-
Crow would laugh at me. Crow hasn't watched my video because he didn't want to get spoiled on anything.
To be honest, I haven't played a whole lot of California games on the C64 in the past. I haven't touched Collection 2 yet, but World games I played a lot of when I was younger.
Yeah.
So
You know
I
what I
think-
would like? A first-person shooter. A first-person shooter collection. From that
Doom?
era, from a SNES, GBA, PS1 era. Just
Ooh.
the kind of, because there was some good ones that could run.
I'll take that all day.
You know?
I don't know about that.
So
I'm not.
Oh yeah,
particularly
Morph Cat,
fond of-
amazing, Jason, absolutely,
Yes.
like awesome,
So-
dude. Right?
So here's the other thing, and again, and maybe it's just so here's the other thing with C60. So like C64, kind of like the way that they did the virtual keyboard or the thing for Intellivision was perfect. So for me, it's a combination of things, right? Like I'm used to getting into a game pressing start, and for me, and maybe this is the old man of me speaking, but every time when I play like one of the computer collections, like the virtual keyboard, it covers up the whole screen. And
Yeah.
some games, it's like press 1 to do this, and then you
Yeah.
have to kind of remove it. And then I just feel like with the computer, like I just can't sit down and play. Like I feel
Let's
like I
ask
have
the
to.
chat.
Wow,
this question.
Ed would
I have the
absolutely
same
hate
question.
the real Commodore 64.
Yeah, so that's what my question is, bro. I think they'd be better served to consolidate all C64 computer games to use a common input to start the game. But I'm asking the chat, would you prefer that, or do you like the old school kind of reverence for how you start a computer game, which are different per game? Because they're different in console. Sometimes the start button starts a game on console, sometimes the A button does. So for me, I think that's part of the charm of the C64 collection, figuring out how to start it. But I can understand accessibility-wise, it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah,
Like,
see that's
on
the-
a real 64. If you turn it on, you put in your disc. If you're in the UK, you put in your tape. Then you have to type in the command to start the game, and then you have to wait a minute or two for the game to load. The title screen, and then you have to wait another minute or two.
Yeah, I
for
love
it to
how they
load
got
the actual
loading
game.
screens on the Evercade. That cracks me up every time I play it. I'm like,
See,
why
that's
is
another-
there a loading
well,
screen?
So here's the thing. Like I don't like listen. If you want the experience of like kind of what you're saying, Pete, of having to go and hit the number keys, then I think that's where you'd want a mini console. I think the Evercade is like you want to play the games, but to your point also too, Pete, make it so you could just press like R2 and have that start the game. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
They could do that. Ryan could work his magic
They
and just
could.
say easy
And-
mode. R2 starts the game, and
Well,
listen,
I know why some of the stuff is a little bit goofy on the C64 collection. It's because a lot of the ROMs that are out there for C64 games are only of the cracked versions, which means they've got trainers and stuff attached to them. So in order to hide that fact, the Evercade is set up to load it from a specific state after all those screens. That's why some of them don't have title screens, because when the originals did, because sometimes that trainer information came after the title screen.
But that's I feel like they could have this a little bit more like make the computer feel like more like a console, right? Like I can get in, I can push the buttons, and then I'll be on like maybe that was the initial like gateway to AppShy or whatever version. Like maybe that's the way the game was intended, but it takes so long just to like load and generate that level.
No.
Like God,
that game's amazing. Like that game's amazing, and you just got to know how to switch your weapons. That's all. And make sure you hit select. But I love Gateway to AppShy. But I must say, it plays so much easier. Even though it's still on the Coleco, you still have to use the numpad to start it up. But it's much easier to play on the ColecoVision than it is on the C64. That I can tell you right now. And they look the same. Like the ColecoVision and the C64 collection
Are you talking about on an actual C64, or are you talking about the C64 collection on the Evercade?
on the C64 collection on the Evercade?
Okay, because it's just another button. If you're playing on a real Commodore 64, it's just a button push.
so they're getting closer, like the Bruce Lee game or whatever, like that. Like there's a few like you were saying, there's a few
Isn't that
games.
game fantastic.
I would say no.
You don't like the Bruce Lee game?
Dude,
No,
it is,
I'm not a
but
big
that
fan
game
of it.
you can press a button and get into it. Like for me, that's okay. Like so, here's going to be an unpopular opinion, but what I would have liked to see is that like you shouldn't have to bring up the virtual keyboard, like for where it says maybe like instead of like pressing 1, have those buttons remapped to where you can use like X1. I know the
Okay,
initial
maybe we can
The
remap
prob-
now it.
Well, the
Ooh,
problem is that
Ooh, let me check.
you can
that would
enter
be,
in.
dude, that would be
You can enter
awesome.
in 1 through 16, I think, in the cases. There's not enough
Here I
buttons for
go.
that.
Oh, stupid thing is turned off again.
Yeah, but not every game. Like if you could like let's say like map like button 1 and 2 to like L and R, and like L to R, like dude, that would be excellent. Then you know, then you could just like that. That would be a good compromise. Let us map those other like keyboard buttons to different keys.
I might just go back to my original Evercade.
How would you like in like the Epic's games? How would you enter your name in?
I do. You know what? Put player 1. I don't know. Put like full name.
They can't change the
Sean's being super
actual way
defensive.
the game works.
I get it. But see, I get it says in the manual, but I don't know.
I like the fact that there's the virtual keyboard to bring up.
But it
'Cause
covers
that-
the whole screen.
Well, it could, but I think the reason they did that is because it's a portable device. If they made it smaller, put it off to the side, you might not be able to see
But
the
it
characters.
worked. But it worked with Intellivision, and you don't need all the. You know what I mean? Like you don't
With
need all the
Intellivision,
buttons.
it's just a numpad. It's not a whole keyboard.
But you don't. Yeah, only or maybe I don't know. It would be more work, but only like the few like winter games and stuff. I don't know. I mean, I get the choices. All I'm saying is like I feel like when I play like those games, I have to work at it. Like I can't just sit down.
I haven't played C64 Collection 2, but with C64 Collection 1, I didn't think it was a big deal that
Now-
it covered the screen because the only times I needed to use the keyboard weren't in the actual game parts. It was only when I needed to enter in names or options or something. And it wasn't even every game. It was like only a handful of games I needed to do that.
Yeah. Now, what would be interesting, and this may change my whole opinion, if they had like for the VS, if they could just build in like standard keyboard support, and I could plug in a USB keyboard into a VS, then
Well, that would be nice too, because then you could just use the keyboard to play every game.
yeah.
Like use
Or then you
arrow
could hit
keys
those. Well, dude, then you could hit those, but like you could press 1, 2. You know, it's like it's right there. That would be, and maybe that would kind of, and I get that's more the way those those games were intended to be played. Yes, you couldn't do it on the portable, but that's why you have the virtual keyboard for the portable. So maybe that would be maybe a compromise. And all.
Well, you say it was the way it was intended to be played, but those games were intended to be played on a Commodore 64 attached to a CRT television.
Well, no, not yet. But okay, let's take a step. That's another. Because CRT, because CRTs were the only type of monitors that really existed. But we're talking about the keypads. Like Intellivision was intended to be played on its wonky keypad, right? Like this is this is a hardware specific thing.
Mm-hmm.
So like they were because there were more buttons for there were more buttons for the game, and that's what they're trying to do is they're trying to make it playable on something that it was never designed to be.
Yeah, so the only way they would really be able to rectify that is if they came out with an additional controller that was emulated like the Intellivision controller, where it had a numpad.
Yeah, keyboard support. See that I would like to revisit, and maybe that would be something I would play on the VS. And like Pete said, keep both of those collections in there, and then play it. So here's the other thing that's a little bit different. That's like a little bit different. Also my opinion on some, and this kind of goes back to growing up. I think if you're more of a console gamer or if you're more of like a computer gamer, but like platformers and like I remember back in the day, like early games on PC just didn't run as smooth on console. Like some things feel like a little bit like choppier, or the controls feel a little bit. Again, that's just more my opinion.
A lot of that is just because like the console, all the capability was actually built into the hardware.
Yeah.
As for the computer, they had to really like write it in the software.
Yes. So I'll be curious. I mean, Alien Breed looks awesome. Like I can't wait. Oh, so Sean wants to know what we're currently playing.
Well, I'm actually in the middle of Nyx, the Paradox Relic. I had finished Beer Slinger and the 2 trilogies, so that's what I'm on right now. Like, you want to know how much time I spent on Gunio Circa collection trilogy? I probably spent 10 hours between all 3 of the games.
Is that the hamster one, or is that the other?
Yeah, that's the hamster one.
Okay. No,
Because I had to beat those. I had to beat those two games because I was like, okay, there's 24 levels. Let me see if I can get through.
dude, those collections are great. And sometimes when I'll get to a point though where then I get frustrated and then I'll revisit it and come back like later on and then I don't. So for me, so here's the dilemma I always have. Do I want to play the latest and greatest? Do I want to revisit something else? And I'll be honest, like when the arcade, like when the arcade collections, like when Toplin and One and Irem came out, I played that, of course, mixed in a little bit of Capcom, and now I've really just been playing like Toplin 2 like a lot. Like that's been my because it's a good variety. You know, we have like a few platformers. I've mainly been playing, I'll say Toplin 2 and the Capcom. I'm kind of going through
How much better
Yeah.
would you say Toeplan 2 is over Toeplan 1?
I say
What
they're
was the question?
Which one is better?
How
Oh,
much
geez.
better? Because everybody seems to say that Toeplan 2 is so good. I don't
Yeah,
hear that
well, it
about
depends,
Toeplan 1.
like, right? Like, I mean, there's a lot to love. Like, I mean, you've got Snow Bros on
One.
one, and you've got Truxton. But personally, man, number 2, the monster game, Demon's World, is freaking amazing. Like, just it's a callback to the 80s, like with the
Yeah, I'm
villain.
just asking
good
because
as
I
frustrating,
played
yeah.
Toeplan 1. I haven't yet touched Toeplan
So-
2.
I it's hard for me. I'd say they're neck and neck right now, but I
Yes.
think Toeplan 2 is amazing. But I'd have to go back and play. I'm taking both of them on holiday with me. That's how
Ooh.
much I'm taking 2
Yeah.
arcades, and I'm going to
10-yard
take.
fight is awesome.
So
What's
I'll
that,
just
sorry?
I was saying, like Arnold said, 10-yard fight over 9 hours so far, and I don't know why. It's a great game once you understand it.
Yeah,
That's the
Demon's
only
World
fantastic game.
is a great Demon's World. Like Sean, that whoever chose Demon's World, man, it's awesome. Like I'm
is.
really fun. And all the shooters on Toeplan 2 are very good shooters. Like even the side-scrolling ones, like I could put up with them.
Yeah. Now the thing too that's neat about Demons, you have to get a little used to the side scrolling, but what's neat is the weapon thingy. Like you can constantly keep changing your weapon, and it flashes at the top of the screen. And some sections are easier, like they make you change. And if you die, you don't start off in the exact same spot. You start a little bit back, so it's as fun. It's gonna be as fun as it is frustrating. But yeah, no, that's a great
only
one.
if you die.
Yeah.
You know what I like about arcade games? You know what I love about arcade games? You're pretty much guaranteed to finish them if you just use your credits. For the most part.
Actually, there is one where it's like impossible to finish just by inserting in coins. I can't remember which one it is though.
So here's the thing. I love the arcade games like the shooters where you do get unlimited credits and you can play through. I like some of the shooters. If you like, I think is it Twin Hawk? It's one of the ones towards the bottom. Like if you die, you start back a little bit. It's not game over. But then I also like the 3 lives and you're done. So
I don't like shooters that are one-hit death. Like, I know they're the majority of them, but I like shooters that give me a little bit of a shield, a little bit of a chance.
That's actually kind of funny because I actually prefer the ones where one hit and you're dead.
Of course,
I feel like I screwed up.
Well, yeah,
course you
so I think it also like I do. So I enjoy both. I enjoy the experience where you get to play through the game. Also, too, I'm the kind of person where I really like roguelikes and score chasers. Like I like a game where it ends and then you kind of have that feeling. Oh, one more time I can go back and do better. So to me, like both the collections are equal. Like I love. I love the game, and this is one of the few times where I'm actually having to force myself not put Toplin 1 back in or Irem because I want to explore Toplin 2.
Yeah. Nick the Toy Collector has a question. This is a great question because I get this asked in comments all the time. Here's a question, chat. How often do you recently use TATE mode or TATE mode? My honest opinion, which I always give, not a huge fan of it. I knew going in way back a year ago that I thought it was something I wouldn't necessarily enjoy for more than 20 minutes at a time. To be honest with you, I still feel the same way. I think the system, it was a great thing to get people's attention out there, and people probably enjoy it. There are segments. I'll use it if I'm playing those games, but I can't use it for more than 15, 20 minutes, to be honest with you. So that's my take on it. It's not why I enjoy the system. I can tell you that.
So
realistically, I don't use it a whole lot.
So for me, like, okay, so if the screen was as big as say if the screen was the big size like the Steam Deck, I would never use TATE mode on the handheld. For me,
That's
though,
a good point. Yeah.
So that it's like I play TATE mode because I feel like I'm forced to because otherwise it's playable, but it's really like scrunched. You know, you don't get as much real estate. But for me, not only sometimes it can feel a little awkward, you know, because more like the balance. Like I don't like. I
Yeah,
kind of wish.
I like all my biggest fears I had with it came true. That the balancing issue is better than I thought,
Yeah.
but still not great.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
fingers, there's not a great way grip when I need to insert a new coin to start and select. There's no way to solve that. It's way up on top. Like there's a bunch of stuff that I
That
don't
gets
think they could
annoying.
have solved
I'm
hardware
gonna
wise.
try playing.
That gets
games
annoying.
On the,
Yeah, I
on the
almost-
And as
VS
a person, I
TATE
think I
mode.
can say pretty confidently with a lot of experience being a handheld gamer. My whole channel's handheld gaming. I know what I'm talking about here, and 20 minutes is max for comfort. If anybody, it needs a grip. If I had a grip for it,
That's what I was gonna
I'd
say.
actually make a grip for it. It would be awesome.
Yes, that's what I kind of feel like. I would need some type of a grip, and
Yeah. But I
yeah.
mean, the Evercade EXP would have been, I think, pretty successful without it, but not as successful with it because I think this got the attention of mainstream, and now it's considered one of the better shooter consoles. So I'm
Yeah.
glad they did it, but it's not necessarily something I use a lot. I hope that answers
But you know
your
what though,
question.
we can't have a grip because it's gonna hit that power button. No, I'm just kidding.
Stupid power button.
I know of another reason why it's the way it is, because when you hit the power button, you can't. It's not going to shut the power off instantly. It probably needs to power down in a way. You can't do that with a Switch.
Yeah. Oh, here's the other. So Pete, you know what? For the longest time, you're saying you kind of wish that, like in the software menu, you could go ahead and shut things down. And I was like, no, we don't need that. Now, like, I kind of want just because I don't know. Like, I'm used to that on the Switch. Like, I mean, that's what I mean. The Steam Deck. I kind of do. I kind of like on the VS. I kind of do wish we had like a shutdown.
Yeah, hold the menu button for 3 seconds, and it gives you the shutdown option.
That would and mainly
That should
because
be straightforward to do, shouldn't it?
Yeah. More so on the VS because like that's like a way off on the side, kind of like under this thing by my desk, and like every time, like sometimes I've actually forgotten to shut it down when I've like been like done recording, and it would have been like to go in the menu. Like I see the merit in that, yeah, because it's like no other all other consoles have that, but yeah, I don't. So like for touch, I don't think it's a gimmick. I think it's usable, but it's just like to an extent, it's it's kind of an interesting thing. Like I don't know if I see to me though, like I have played it longer in 20 minutes in the shooters where you do have more unlimited continues, but you do start to feel like your hands start to cramp up a little bit. But then like on other shooters, I don't last as long. Some things don't like hold my attention as much. So I don't know. You know what I mean? Like I like to keep switching around to different games. But yeah, I'm glad that it's there. I think definitely like if there was a bigger screen, I'd be fine. I would just use it in normal mode for sure.
Yeah, I'm glad it's there, but it not something that I play daily. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, shutdown option.
Oh, that's just so you don't have to shut it down by getting up and pushing the button on the console?
Yes, they actually. So fandom, if I'm being so, that is one thing that I an adjustment that I did have to get used to because so before the Steam Deck, I really got used to save states, but then like let's say I'm sitting on the couch, my wife was like, "Oh, honey, can you take out the trash or do whatever?" I can just hit one button, set my deck down, and I immediately jump up and do it. Like this is a little bit different because like for the handheld, I just have to pause it and I set it there, and the screen turns off, but it's still using the battery, or I have to shut it down. You know what I mean? Like depending how long I think I'm gonna have to be away, I don't want to leave my my EXP in sleep mode.
Not in a case either,
Yeah,
because that blows.
yeah. But again, totally different devices. But since you brought it up, is anyone? Oh, you know what? I guess because the OG one has a little bit bigger buttons. Like I didn't realize that.
Yeah, the EXP has like kind of switch size buttons, right? I don't know. I like my OG Evercade. I liked it a lot. I'm already nostalgic about something that's only been out 2 years. That's crazy.
Yeah, 3 years, right?
It's got the nostalgia feels.
Yeah, you know what? I don't. I guess I didn't. I guess that might have been something I didn't notice, but or not, or not bother me as much. The hunt is so something like that. Like that's a game where like if you could never beat without any continues unless you would have like godlike skills. But that game is fun. Like that game is like so much fun. Like you're gonna have a good time playing,
That's a bullet hell crazy game.
playing.
I'm pretty sure people could beat it with 1 credit.
I doubt it. I don't
know.
believe it.
Look it up. I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there
They're
that
cheating. Can't be done.
it's probably in like Twin Galaxies and stuff too.
No. If
There's probably speed runs. Look up speed runs. I bet you people.
I want to
speedrun the
say
game.
it probably would be somebody like in Japan, because like shooters have always been bigger over. It'd probably be somebody with mad skills in Japan would be able to do that.
Yeah, there's no way, man. That game is impossible.
Yeah, to do a one and done.
All I gotta do is look it up.
You look it up.
Yeah, you look it up. No, you look it up.
I don't want to look it up.
See, even
credit.
even with godlike, that's the thing. Some of these games are just designed to be quarter munchers. Like I don't care how good you are.
Yep. I don't want to be godlike to play a video game. I just
There's
want to play a video
like
game and
4
have
of them
fun.
right off the top.
Yeah, but they could
Oh.
be. Who knows? Yeah, but do they say toss in the title? I don't know.
No, they don't.
But all good stuff. But yeah, I will be curious this year. I hope that we do have the arcade collection catch up more, and I do want to see more of those. More of those like indies and all that, and all that type of stuff.
Let's see here, speedrun.
No, that's funny. That's a hot, are designed. Some of them, I don't. I mean, the ones
No.
where you,
It's designed to take your money. If they were designed to be played with 1 coin, they wouldn't ask you if you wanted to continue.
that's what I was going to say. Something like Xevious maybe, because you don't get any continues like that.
Yeah.
But,
I don't know.
That was before they thought of that.
All right, we should wrap up.
oh yeah, that's right. We can go into final.
All right, let's. When is if Sean's in the chat? When are we going to do? When are you doing the anniversary announcement? Like, when's the big hoopla coming? Is
There's
it next week?
there's speed runs of In the Hunt. There are 2 players here that have 1 credit runs.
I don't believe anything on the tubes anymore. I mean,
This isn't YouTube. This is actual speedrun.com. So
Oh.
they actually have to have proof of this.
oh wow, okay, that's different then. I might
Yeah.
have to check that out.
Yeah, because I was going to say we know somebody who uses save states really well and is good at editing.
Oh, okay. End of
Yeah,
the month.
that's me. I'm not
I know.
claiming that
I
I'm
know, I
1
know.
credit cruel or anything.
Ooh.
End of the month, but we'll announce date and time shortly. Great. Awesome. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. We should do a live show around that. Once we know the date, we do a live show around the announcement.
Ooh.
Well, all our shows are live, but like
Yeah.
day and date of it so we can discuss it as it happens. Do.
That would be really
All
neat.
right, bye, everybody.
Yeah, I actually need to get running soon.
Yeah, come to my channel, watch stuff. That's what I do. I do stuff. You watch it. My hands are a little sick right now, but they'll get better.
What do you got going on your channel?
Well, I had to postpone the stream I had scheduled on Sunday, so that tomorrow I'll be streaming Space Invaders Extreme, and probably on the Evercade channel, Thunderpaw. I put up a thing for that. We'll see if that actually happens, probably. And then something pinball related Wednesday, whatever wins the votes. I don't even remember what's in the poll, but that's what it is.
I got some 1 coin challenges coming this week. I'm gonna record a bunch this week. One because I love doing those. Speaking about shoot 'em ups and 1 coin and 1 credit, I'm getting better at those. And they're fun videos for me to do because I love reading the comments where people just lambaste me and my lack of skill. But yeah, got a couple of those coming up for Evercade content.
Nice.
Bye, everyone.
Hey. Next week I got my my first impressions through for Toplin 2, and I did make chapters and sections. So for those of you who like the long play, you can do all that, or you can skip to where you want to go, and all that good stuff. And I may have a video on card this week. Don't know. Tomorrow's Mother's Day, so. But
Is it?
It is.
yeah.
That's why I've got to go really soon.
All right. Bye, everyone.
All right. Well, we're gonna. If I can turn off the stupid banner. Okay. All right. Crow, you want to, before I play the outro?
I can't do anything.
Okay. Bye, everyone. Then.
I can do this, but you don't hear no sound.
Game over. Game over. Game over.
Time for those creepy hands to come up. Okay, so my take on this hand is this is a dieting hand that was once a big, fully featured hand that was healthy, but now it went on a diet and went too far. So I'm pretty sure this is increasing hand, or I think it's just skin overexposed.